right. Hello, wine-drinking people. We are back. It's still Tuesday, the 12th of October, and now it's time for what I had to drink yesterday. Well, you know, Tuesday's show is always a little bit long because we got Saturday brown bag, we got Saturday night, we got Sunday night, Monday in the store, and Monday night. So I better get right to it because we had a lot of drinking going on this weekend. Actually, Saturday was one of the slowest brown bags we've ever had, but that's because good friend of mine, Scott, turned 55, and he was born in 55, and he's friends with a lot of our core group of brown baggers, and he came in a little early to celebrate with us, a little pre-celebration with this no-name Saint-Emilion right here, Grand Pays La Scores, 1955 out of half bottles. Are you kidding me, Scott? Where'd you find this? Well, he found it online at WineBid, and I always tell people, you know, you got to be really cautious about stuff you find on these internet sites, and, you know, this wine was just perfect, though. I could not believe how good the wine was. Hint of wet dog, some dried meat, damp earth, dried tobacco spice, hints of red plum, and some dried cherry fruit there. This lovely soft berry fruit on the palate with a lot of that aforementioned kind of spice and earthy notes going on through the finish, but a really nice little wine for 1955. And then Flavio opened up a wine from his birth year, man. It was like 1978 Pichon Comtesse de Lalande, which was absolutely stunning. Not a great vintage, unfortunately, for Bordeaux, but Pichon, one of the great overachievers in Bordeaux in less than fabulous vintages. This wine had this lovely gravelly minerality, fresh kind of earth and coffee nuance, a little bit of smoke in there too, a little menthol to the bouquet, really classic Pauillac, and then on the palate, really soft, lovely red berry fruit there, currants on the tongue, silky smooth, lovely freshness, and this wine just screamed top-level Bordeaux vintage. And then Saturday night, well, I should mention a few things on brown bag. We did have a few people in here. Some Tommaso Bussola Amarone 2002. This is their entry-level wine and showing beautifully. Very soft, and even a little bit of sweetness to it. Several people that were here, well, the few people that were here definitely picked this one out as Amarone. Well, hey, Nick brought it, so I mean, it's not rocket science here what Nick's going to bring to brown bag, right? 9 out of 10 times it's an Amarone. It's kind of like Chardonnay Ray. What would you bring today for us today, Ray? Is it Chardonnay from California or Chardonnay from Burgundy? Well, that's from you to figure out. That's what we do at Brown Bag here, folks. A short brown bag, but a pretty good one. I opened up the 2007 Cardinale. Oh, sorry, Flavio, you missed that one, buddy. I opened it up. You left before we opened that, but before we drank it. But that was fantastic, and I brought it to Chardonnay Ray's house because he hosted the dinner party for Scott, and drinking beautiful, this '07 Cardinale. Wow, big, lots of currants, cassis, black cherry fruit. One of the top wines made year in and year out in Napa Valley. It's got a little expensive, but hey, when you look at the price of Harlan Estate, Colgan, and Screaming Eagle, Cardinale's still less than half the price of a lot of those wines, $175 a bottle for this '07. And then a slew of 55s, man. 55 Petrus, 55 Côte d'Estrennel, 55 grams port out of half bottle, 55 Girolats Sauternes. The wine of the night for me, the 1955 Côte d'Estrennel out of half bottles. This wine, absolutely singing. It beat the Petrus for me. The Petrus may have had maybe a little bit more stuffing to it, but this 55 Côte d'Estrennel out of half bottle, again, was absolutely fantastic. Still had this lovely red currant berry fruit, this lovely distinctive earthiness and minerality that is Bordeaux, and then great freshness on the finish. But hey, we had a lot of other great wines that night too. 1937 Quinta Noval Colheita, which Tawny Port, which I brought, fantastic, one of my favorite wines in the store. 2002 Côte d'Estrennel out of Magnum. 1995 Pieve de Santa Restituta Brunello de Montalcino Sugaril, which we still have a little bit of that left, folks. That is drinking exceptional. And then 2001 Talenti Reserva out of Magnum. 1982 Leoville Las Casas. Somebody pinch me. 1986 La Mission Aubryon. Are you kidding me? 2006 Kill Cedar Creek Cabernet Sauvignon. Whew. I think I may have missed a 1995 Barolo that Kevin brought too, but man, what a slew of outstanding wines open Saturday night. Happy birthday, Scott. Happy birthday, Flavio. And 1955, a great vintage. Scott still doing pretty well as well as his wines. All right. Well, Monday we had a very slow day in the store. Hey, I missed Sunday. Man, like I said, we did a lot of drinking and, you know, just some average stuff at the house. 2005 Lewis Reserve Cabernet, a little bit of Mastoic Salenquis out of Magnum, and 2006 Barbera Cerebuelo by Cigliuti. So just a few average things at home on Sunday, Sunday turning into Sunday evening. And then Monday in the store, you know, like I said, man, it was a great weekend. And then you have one of the royalty of Napa Valley, Mark Mondavi, come in to show the new releases from his family's winery, Charles Krug Winery. What many people may not realize about the Mondavi family, well, this is where they started. In the 40s, Peter Mondavi's family bought this Charles Krug Winery, which was one of the original 4 wineries in Napa Valley. And Charles Krug producing some great wines for every day. And hey, their top wine generations, I'll put it up against anything made in Napa Valley for $100 and guarantee you this is not half the wine. Even if you think the other wine's better, I doubt if most people are going to say this generation's is worth half as much as any wine at $100. It is exceptional, just like all the other stuff at Charles Krug. Well, let me just say, some of these big brands, you know, they kind of get pushed underneath the carpet because people say, oh, C.K. Mondavi makes 100,300,000 cases. Well, you know, the Robert Mondavi winery's got a label called Woodridge where they make 3 million cases. But, you know, when you get to that level, I think a lot of people start to look at you as a huge winery, not focusing on quality, but focusing on quantity. But this winery's got 2 different labels. The Charles Krug label focuses on exceptional value and quality, and the Sauvignon Blanc being one of my favorite Sauvignon Blancs in the store. It's been on our best of list several times. They use the New Zealand technique here. Reductive, no malolactic, 100% stainless steel, very fresh and forward fruit, guava, white grapefruit, fresh melon, a little hint of fresh baled hay there, and light mineral notes. Really bright and fruity on the tongue, a very clean and zesty finish. One of the things I like about Sauvignon Blanc, it leaves the tongue salivating for food. This may make our best of list again this year, this 09. All right, next up, the Chardonnay Carneros. Maybe this bottle was a little bit off. It just tasted a little flat to me. It wasn't corked. It wasn't, you know, bad. It just wasn't that exciting. It had some nice kind of light toasty oak spice, a little hint of vanilla, some red apple. And again, you know, it was a nice little wine, but just seemed like it was a little flat. Next up, the Pinot Noir from Carneros. And this wine had nice black cherry and black raspberry-like fruit on the nose with hints of allspice and a little bit of toasty oak there. Ripe and forward black cherry fruit on the tongue with some nice velvety, silky tannins and wonderful balanced acidity. A really nice little Pinot Noir for $22.50. Then the Merlot. Man, this is one of the nicest Merlots that I've had for around $20 this year. Lovely black plum, black cherry fruit, hints of fresh plowed earth and fine herbs, a hint of dark chocolate there. Pretty classic Merlot, really forward and fruity on the front of your palate, and then soft and smooth tannins on the back, echoing those spice notes on the finish. Really nice little Merlot, classic Napa Merlot. All right, next up, the Yountville Cab. This is a wine we've already had this year. We had both of these wines, the Generations and the Yountville, and you know what? We sold them off the What I Drank Yesterday portion of the show then. So let's see if anybody catches on to this now. This Yountville 07, a great vintage from Napa Valley. We will have this wine in the store for the holidays. It'll be in one of our gift boxes, I'm guessing. At the rating that I gave it yesterday, one of the best Cabernets from Napa for under $25 that I've had. Lovely, thick, black currant berry fruit. Again, cassis, a good hand of fresh black earth with a nice hand of chocolate and toasty oak spice also. Dense and rich on the tongue with layers of that earth and spice coming through on the finish. Wonderful freshness. A really great little bottle of wine for $24.25. And then the Generations. Do I need to say anything more about this? This wine really showed brilliantly. Classic Bordeaux varieties with just a touch of Syrah. More and more people are doing that with their Cabernet. A little bit of fresh herb note, fresh plowed earth, red currant, and cherry fruit here. Lovely richness on the tongue. Very big, voluminous on the palate with a lot of that black and red berry fruit showing there. A nice hint of dried tobacco spice. And really classic Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. $48.25. I mean, you know, it's not cheap. But like I said, I'll put it up against anything for $100 from Napa, and I guarantee you it's not half the wine. All right, well, that's what I had to drink yesterday, folks. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasone for the Wine Watch, signing off, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.